Hello. Welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Good morning, guys. I was just looking at one of the theories that I wanted to check out today, and I lost track of time. I was back by almost a minute. So, sorry about that. Let's get started. We are going to look at CNBC today, and we're going to get started from here. And the first thing I'm going to look at is the indices, and the futures are showing mild positive, and I would take this any day. That could be a little bit of a relief. And today we have got Fed Chief Powell talking about interest rates, and I think 2 o'clock to 2:30 is going to be a very critical time for the market. But I'm thinking, what is Jerome Powell going to say? Is he going to say that he's going to give more rate cuts? I don't think so. And I do not see what Powell can say. I think for him, his vision of what is happening with the economy is going to be as muddled as it is for us, because he doesn't know what Trump is planning to do, how the tariff endgame is going to happen, what is going to be the price of oil based on the geopolitics. So I think FOMC event might end up being a non-event, and there could be a little bit of relief rally in anticipation of the event, or maybe just for the morning, and then things are likely to fizzle out because I can't think of anything else. But all that said, I think 2 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. is going to be critical. Anything can happen, and things could probably start looking up. After that, I think we have the jobless claims coming up on Thursday, which will also be an important headline to watch out for. But one thing that concerns me is weekly mortgage demand pulls back as interest rates rise for the first time in 9 weeks. That is concerning me because the way the employment reports and also the inflation data has come in, it's kind of very difficult to determine which way to go. And really, I don't know what the Fed is going to say. So we leave it at that. We don't want to waste too much time on this section. Whatever we don't know, we leave it and we go and see the things that we know. So today, I think it's going to be purely technical analysis kind of a thing for me. And since I don't know what's going to happen, I'm just going to hold my powder dry, not do much. If I was to look at our heat map, this is a one-day performance. Yesterday, we saw everything go down. And the common theme that I'm seeing is that the consumer defensive, which is supposed to do very well during economic weakness, has not yet done that. So I am looking at one-day performance. I look at 1 week performance. Still, this area is red. And then I'm looking at 1 month performance. Even there, the consumer defensive is predominantly red. And if we go ahead to 3 month performance, there we are seeing a little bit of relief. But overall, I think the consumer defensive is a coiled up area, which could probably give a lot of gains when the market starts to go down. So right now, investors are not that much into consumer defensive, and especially the ones that are red are Walmart and Costco. I'm thinking that Walmart and Costco might have a lot of products which are coming from either China or they are coming from Mexico and Canada. So there could be a lot of tariff related impact out there. And that could be the reason why. And also we have these cultural lightning rod things like DEI and other things. So Costco has not rolled back, but Walmart has rolled back. So those kind of issues might come up. So probably there's a bit of risk out there. That's the way I would look at it. But I think personally that if the economy was to go down further, then consumer defensive is an area where there is a lot of money to be made and security to be had. That's what I'm thinking. And then let's go on to the indices themselves, because that's what we're going to rely on today. And I'm going to the futures. NASDAQ futures has smartly bounced up above that huge area. Hi, Joe, hot dog, welcome. So we have this area of support for NASDAQ that has smartly pushed us up in the pre-market session to around 0.38% gain, but 0.38% gain is neither too much nor too little. It could go back down again I'm still keeping this area green until we break down totally from there. And for us, the resistance today is going to be 20,038.50. So we are moving sideways. And yesterday's candle went, day before yesterday's candle went all the way to the top, yesterday's candle, and it was pushed down from there. And now I have this new candle emerging up here. This is the candle for today, 19th. And this has the potential of going all the way up or coming down. But if it did not go all the way down, it would form a bullish harami, which will be again a bullish pattern. So there seems to be a lot of hope in the horizon for Nasdaq futures. And if you look at S&P 500 futures, it also went all the way up to the resistance of 5,738, but it got pushed down by the 200-day exponential moving average as well, which was at 5,734.22. And today we are forming the same kind of a situation out here, which could end up becoming a bullish candlestick pattern and help us to go up, because if it ends up below our resistance of 5738, that's what likely to happen. But for a real bullish candle pattern, it has to be within this body. It should be engulfed by the previous bear candle. But a little bit of bullish pattern is seen out there. But in both cases, MACD seems to be mending and momentum seems to be picking up. So those are the hopes for us out there. And dollar index shows that the dollar has improved a little bit, and the area of support that we have here seems to be working really well. And if you look at the 10-year yields, it is staying above this diagonal line of support that we have out here, and it's being pushed down by the 200-day exponential. So between the two of them, it kind of creates a wedge pattern out here, and we'll have to see whether we are breaking out on the upside, because on the upside there is plenty of resistance, the 9-day and the 21-day. And on the bottom, there is only one support, which is this diagonal line of support out here. And MACD is mending and momentum is also improving up out here. So we don't know which way it's going to break up, but the chances of rates going up and yields going up is much higher, in my opinion. And then let's go on and have a look at the indicators themselves. S&P 500 is positioned very interestingly today. And yesterday we have created some kind of a trend reversal pattern out here, but that is not complete. We have to see whether we can come and get the support of this diagonal line of support out here. So if we move down, this will be our support. And as we saw in the futures, we were already moving up. So we have to break this resistance out here at 5,659.34. That is the first resistance that we have. If we break that, then our next resistance is going to be the 200-day exponential at 5,703. And after that, our diagonal line of resistance is there at 5,721. So we have to see how it goes. And at the end of the day, we'll get an idea. 2 o'clock again is going to be an inflection point. If I look at the MACD, it was mending, but it's not mending fast enough and the momentum is dropping. So we don't know what's going to happen out here. Nasdaq, if it improves, it can go all the way up to 19,700. Right now it's at 19,483.36 as it closed on Friday. And in the futures, we saw that it's positive and it has to stay above a support of 19,458. So that's the support. And if that support breaks, then we have a support out here, which is the diagonal line of support. And for today, the support is going to be at 19,432. So 19,432 is the support, ultimate support, and 19,449 is the first level of support. And on the top, we have a resistance at 19,703.82. These are the points between which I expect it to play today. And then let's go on to look at the VIX. The VIX has gone down by 1.06, but it is still elevated. And we have this bear flags. This is what I was trying to remember, how to estimate the price target for a bear flag. That's what I was checking up when I got delayed. So typically the bear flag length is considered to be a yardstick for measuring the price target when the bear flag breaks down on the lower side. So if we have this as our target out here, let us say this is where the bear flag started. So we are down 22. So what I would do is I would take a line from here and take it down to the start of the bear flag. I'm just going to move this out here and pull it down here. So this is the bear flag start. So I'm going to clone this and pull it down here. If the bear flag breaks down somewhere out here, let us say if it breaks down here, then my price target would be 15.62. So that's the way I'm thinking about the VIX. It could come down significantly if we break down on this bear flag. But if we don't, then I think we are going to look at a channel out here that I'm preparing. So this is the channel on which we might most probably travel. So those are the two possibilities out here. Dow Jones was down 0.62% yesterday. It bounced down, and I think once the Fed meeting is over, we'll revisit all of these stuff. But right now, the bias is definitely downwards. Russell index is also down. It was down around 1.09% as of yesterday, and this morning it's up a very modest 0.21%. And Inf is asking, what are we thinking, sideways until FOMC? Then who knows? I think that's most probably what is likely to happen. And put call ratio, however, is looking pretty bullish to me. So there is an indication out there that the market could bounce back. So on the balance, I'm thinking there's a bit of bounce back expected today. Whether it's going to happen before 2 or after 2, I do not know that. So I'll be honest to admit that today I don't have any clue what's going to happen. If any of you have any suggestions, just put it down there. I'm willing to take that. QQQ again is forming some kind of a bear flag out here. Is it going to go down further? That's the big question. And if we look at gold, gold is continuing to go up. I had bought ZGLD. I took good profits. I took a profit of around 3% if I'm not mistaken. I took out the profit because we are approaching the line of resistance out here. So I took the profit yesterday. And I'm thinking once we hit the line of resistance, we're going to come back down and then bounce back up either on the 9-day or the 9-day or the 200-day exponential, or on this diagonal line of support, which has been coming with us for a very long time. So I took my profits out there. So I'm out from there. There's another thing that really keeps me wondering. XLP has not performed as well as it should, given the weakness that we are potentially seeing in the economy. When is it going to pick up? It has got to complete this reverse head and shoulder before it picks up. So I'm thinking that there is still time for XLP to complete this reverse head and shoulders. So probably the recession fears and other things can be delayed further, or maybe they may never happen. So with the formation is not yet complete. I'm looking at all the clues that I have got out here. I'm thinking that probably today we may go up a little bit and then come back down by the time of the close, assuming that Fed Chairman Powell is not able to do any positive boost for the market. Now let's go on to AI. Let's look at NVIDIA. I'm thinking that this diagonal line of resistance is the point at which NVIDIA can be shorted. I'm just going to move this around a little bit so that you can see it the way it should be. And today we are up 1.17%, and it could very well go all the way up to this diagonal line of resistance, and on the way it's going to encounter the 200-day exponential, which is sitting at 120.92. It's also going to encounter the 9-day exponential, which is sitting at 120.11. So those are the two resistances that are immediate for today, and the support is going to be this diagonal line of support, and for today the support sits at 114.76. Meta is was down 3.73%, but it's up 0.59% this morning, and we have this very sharp bear channel on which we are moving. And the beauty of this bear channel is the top and the bottom can be very much far apart, so there can be huge movements within the day, and we can still stay within this bear channel depending on where we start the day. So we ended yesterday at 582.36, and for today the upper limit is going to be 597.22 and the lower limit is going to be 549.88. So it's a wide range for Meta, and Meta is going to draw support from the 200-day exponential, which is sitting at 579. 576.08. That's going to be the support on the lower side for Meta. And then if you look at Google, I did buy a little more Google. It's looking very attractive to me. And it ended up yesterday at 162.67. But this morning it's up 0.26%, which is a very mini growth, I would say. And if you look at the price, it's still languishing out here. And we have this support from before, which was at 164.49, which is going to act as our resistance today. That's going to be our first line of resistance. And if we break that, then we have another resistance, which is this diagonal line of resistance from a bull channel from before. And that's going to sit somewhere around 165.05. So that's the next resistance that we have. So if we break those two things, then that's a tall order for us right now, because MACD is looking bearish. Momentum is also looking very weak. So if Google falls further, I'm definitely doing a little more dollar cost averaging out there. Amazon, again, we have the same kind of bear channel that we had before. Amazon, I think, is going to break out of this bear channel today. Pre-market, it's at 193.68. And for today, I think our bear channel is going to be having a maximum of 192.33, which was the resistance. And we are already above that. So expect Amazon to start forming a bear flag. And we'll have to see if that bear flag converts itself into a bull channel, or if it's going to break down on the downside. We'll check it out later on. But right now the chart looks pretty weak because momentum is very low. But MACD is starting to amend itself. So that's how I'm thinking. And Inf is saying my Amazon is big red now. Yes, Amazon is still looking very red. I think a part of the weakness for Amazon is also going to be its supply chains. I think a lot of stuff in Amazon comes from China. And if there's going to be tariffs and reciprocal tariffs, even if it's coming from Malaysia or somewhere else, there is going to be a tariff impact out there. So probably that is weighing down on Amazon, in my opinion. And if you look at Apple, Apple is creating a bear flag out here. It's moving along this diagonal line of support. Yesterday it was above, then it came back down again, and today it is below. And for today, this line of resistance indicates a resistance of 213.80. Let me make this thinner so that I can do a more precise measure. It's going to be 213.80 for today. We are already at 213.39. We are just 50 cents below this, and it could break up above, and probably like yesterday, it could come back down again and create some kind of bear flag out here. So it's very important for us to work out our bear targets. I'll be back again tomorrow. I was a bit confused about finding out a bear flag target because I have not done it in a while. So I need to refresh my own knowledge and then come back here and give us some price targets out here. But if I look at the MACD and the momentum, both are looking very weak. They are due for a dead cat bounce. But if I was to look at dead cat bounce, I have told you before as well that when I look at the RSI, I can see that there are points which are way below where we are right now on the RSI scale, where we have been before we bounce back. So Amazon could fall down further. And it's overall in the bear channel. Let's leave it at that. Microsoft is up 0.28% today. In pre-market session, it's at 384.61, and it has already broken this diagonal line of resistance, and it is also creating some kind of a bear flag out here. And for today, we have 386.21, which is going to be our line of resistance. And right now we are at 384.61. So what do I know? It's still inside the line of resistance. It's got just $2 that it has to do before it can break out, but it's creating a bull flag pattern if it breaks out of this diagonal line of resistance. But overall, I'm thinking that Microsoft is still in a bear channel. MACD has improved and become bullish, but momentum requires to improve further. Tesla, everybody is worried about Tesla. What's going to happen to Tesla? We have this diagonal line of resistance for Tesla, and for today the diagonal line of resistance is going to be somewhere around 229.09. So that's where we are looking, say around $230. We can't be very precise. Right now Tesla is at 232.13. So potentially it is breaking out of this diagonal line of resistance. So I've marked this green already, and it would potentially create a bear flag out here, and we'll have to see how it goes. Another resistance for Tesla is going to be at 233.05, so that will be the first resistance, and then we'll go into this diagonal line of resistance at around 231 or 234, some of that range that we are looking at. And on the bottom, it can get a support somewhere around 217.81. So that's the support out there. I'm still short on Tesla, and today I'll have to decide whether I want to take profit, because MACD is almost ready to become bullish, and momentum is at the bottom around oversold, so it could turn around from there. So I'm thinking of selling off my Tesla shorts out here today. Then we look at Oracle, which is still in a bear channel, and today it's at 149.60, and then we have this bear channel, which indicates that our resistance today is going to be at 154.53 on the upside, and on the bottom our resistance is going to be 142.77. so it's a wide range in which Oracle can move, and as you can see, it is creating a bear flag out here. So it's very important for me to come back with a clear idea of where the bear flag target is going to end up. Next, let us look at AMD. AMD is moving towards this line of resistance out here. It's up again 0.65% this morning. So if AMD comes anywhere close to this diagonal line of resistance, I'm going to buy AMD shorts, because I think AMD has a very high PE, and I'm going to buy out there. I don't know if I'm going to get a clean pushback from the diagonal line of resistance and come down, or if I'm going to come back down even before I hit the diagonal line of resistance. So I'm going to think about that. And then I'm looking at Intel Corporation. Intel is down 2.47 in pre-market trades. We have this gap down, which is going to attract us, and we have the support at 200-day exponential moving average. So for today, I would say our bottom is going to be 24.76, which is going to be the support for today, and it's moving towards this gap fill. That's what I'm thinking. And then if you look at SMCI has broken down below this diagonal line of support, and for today the diagonal line of support would be 39.61, and we are at 38.31. So we are below this. So we are already broken down from here. So I'm going to mark this as red, and our resistance today is going to be 39.45. And if we don't clear the resistance, then we're going to start coming down. Again, it's important for me to find out a bear flag target. So I'm going to refresh my knowledge, make sure that I'm finding the target properly, and I'll come back to you and I'll give you the target. Okay. Are you sure about AMD? Forward PE, I have it at 22. Oh, I'm not looking at forward PE. I'm just looking at the current PE. I think I have to look at the forward PE. What do you think about forward PE for AMD? Forward PE of 22 seems decent. It's pretty good. So let me think about that, hot dog. I can't, it's a good question. I was not looking at forward PE for AMD. So I'll have to go and have a look at it and come back down. Inf says it is cheap compared to other companies. Yes, what is the forward PE for NVIDIA? Do you know? What is the forward PE for NVIDIA, Inf? Can you see that? Okay, you check it out. Meanwhile, I'll go on to the other stock out here, Qualcomm. Qualcomm is down 1.05 as of yesterday and up 0.26% this morning. And we have this diagonal line of resistance. And for today, the diagonal line of resistance says 159.29 is the hard stop. As far as the 9-day exponential is considered, it says 158.91 is a hard stop. So those are the two resistances that I see out there. And for the support, I would say we have support at 152.65. So that's where I'm looking at the supports. and then we go to Broadcom, and in Broadcom we are up 0.20 this morning after dropping around 3% yesterday. We have this diagonal line of resistance for Broadcom, which indicates that for today 191.05 is going to be the upper limit, and for us the 200-day exponential at 183.35 is going to perform the role of a support. So that's the range in which we are going to move. And then Palantir seems to be moving from strength to strength. We have this bear flag extending forward and trying to become a bull channel, but right now I would still say that we are in a bear channel. This was the line of resistance that we had, and that has already been broken by Palantir, and I would say that this is a reliable channel that I can mark out here, because we have 1 point of support out here, second, third, and fourth. There are 4 touch points onto this line, so I would be comfortable saying that this is a line that's going to be valid. And for today, this line dictates that our support is going to be at 81.59, and immediate support for us is this horizontal line of support, which is at 83.68, and we are above that today. And then our resistance is going to be 87.42, which is the 9-day exponential. So on the top we are going to have 87.42. On the bottom we are going to start off with a support at 83.68, and ultimately we could go all the way down to around 81.59. That is the range at which we'll have Palantir today. And then I would like to go and have a look at ARM holdings, which we haven't seen for quite a while. And out here we have a marginal gain of 0.36 cents, or around 0.30% after dropping 1.36% yesterday. And let me see what we have here. We haven't seen this counter for quite a while. I'm just going to draw a line of resistance out here, and with multiple touch points, and I'm saying that we have actually crossed the line of resistance out here, and we are moving up and creating a new bull channel. I think that's what it looks to me, because we have got higher lows coming up, and we are also seeing higher highs out here. So I think our next resistance for this is going to be the 9-day exponential, which is sitting at 127.59, and our support today is likely to be 109. So we are likely to be moving around in a huge range, as we see for a lot of stocks. So volatility is likely to be quite high. And then we are looking at ASML, which is down 0.12% out here after gaining 0.11%. So it's just consolidating sideways, and it's also kind of broken out of a diagonal line of resistance, but we'll have to watch what happens out there. MACD is looking good. Momentum is also looking good. So perhaps a new bull channel is being created. We'll have to watch what happens out there. Then let's go on and have a look at Rigetti, which is what I look at regularly. Rigetti is up 3.22% after dropping 8.06% yesterday, still on this mild bull channel. And for today, I think our first level of support is 9.86, and the second level of support is the 9-day exponential sitting at 9.78%. SMR is up 0.72% after dropping 5.8% yesterday. This is some kind of a bull channel out here. I would say a lot of lower highs, but we have also fallen below the 200-day exponential moving average. So overall, the pattern looks bearish, but we are seeing improvement in the MACD. Momentum is still weak. So I'm very confused about SMR. I'm just going to leave it out there. I'm still holding SMR and Rigetti. I would think that in the long run, it should pan out, because it's a small reactor and it'll find place somewhere or the other, even apart from the data centers, given the way the environment is going. So I'll hold on for a long term. I have a very small portion on that. And then I'm looking at JD.com, which is another holding that I have kept with me, basically because of the double bottom pattern. It fell around 0.64% yesterday, but it has regained all the losses from most of the losses from yesterday. It's up 1.16% today and around 52 cents. And I think for it, the next resistance is going to be at 47.66, and the support is going to be at around 43.59. So I'm holding on to this. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average, but not that great momentum. So it needs to improve on the momentum department. Then let us go on to genomics, where we're going to look at two stocks specifically, that is CRISPR and Illumina. Right now Verve is flat pre-market, it's coming down. This is the line of support it has got out here, and DNA, Ginkgo Bioworks, was down 6.13%. It's still this line of resistance, minor line of resistance is still acting out there, and we are dropped down. And I think the next one to look at is Caribou Biosciences, up 1.12%, still within the bear channel, continuing to fall. CRISPR Therapeutics still has this minor line of support out here, which has been performing support very valiantly for quite a while, all the way from 12th of February, and it has not been tested. Perhaps it might be tested today. We are up 0.90% in pre-market trades, but there are no major catalysts at this point of time. Unless CRISPR Therapeutics comes out with some catalyst. Let us look at the news, because some catalysts are due before the end of June, and there is no catalyst out here. I can't see anything that can boost it. So I think we're going to test this minor line of support. If we fail that, then we have another support at 38.68, in which case it will start becoming very attractive for a buy. Grail is down 0.39% today after being down 3.26%, and exactly the same kind of a diagonal line of resistance, and there's a very strong resistance out here. And I would say that for today 31.43 is the resistance, and the support is going to be 25.97. And if you look at Prime, it was up 0.57% yesterday, and it's up again 0.41% today, but a very weak chart. We are in the bear channel. Probably we may create a bear flag. That's all. That's the best that can happen out there. Beam is up 0.49% after dropping 7.87%, and we have a resistance at 25.10. I don't know why I haven't marked it red yet. A very bearish chart out here. Altimmune is creating a little bit of higher lows out here, and we have resistance from the 9-day exponential at 5.92, and we are flat in the pre-market trade, so still bearish in my opinion. Bluebird is again consolidating just above 3.76, and that's what it's going to continue to do until private equity buys it off. Allogene is up 0.59% after dropping 8.65% yesterday. It's fallen below this horizontal line of support of 1.79. I'm going to mark that red. I think it can keep on falling and do the gap fill out here, and the gap fill on the top is 1.53, so that's where it could probably get a little bit of support, and then it could get support at 1.43. so further drops for Allogene. mRNA is struggling valiantly to cross a resistance of 35.38, which is going to remain a resistance for today, and the support at the bottom is going to be 29.71, and ARCG is below the line of support we had in the past of 22.94, and that is going to be a resistance for us today, and I think it could fall down further. I would say support would be somewhere around 21.94. PSEV, I think it's a bit lackluster. It still has support at 1.21 for today, and Intelia, again, it has got a support at 8.97 today. And Illumina is what I'm looking at. It's consolidating nicely out here. It's flat in pre-market trades. It has got resistance at 89.27, and it's got support at 80.57. Whenever it comes close to 80.57, dollar cost averaging would be a good idea. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. And IMTX is up around 3.72% after going up 2.61% yesterday, and for today it's going to face a resistance at 5.34. right now it's at 5.30. It could very well clear that and go up, and it has already created higher lows, and it is starting to create higher highs, so it's definitely going on the bull channel. And if it breaks this resistance today, we have to start looking at bullish targets for IMTX. Then we look at Editas, which is up 1.90% today after dropping 6.74% yesterday. I think it is still a little bearish, and it's got a resistance at around 1.59%, which is this 9-day exponential moving average, and it would have a support. I think its initial support is going to be 1.17. And then if you look at Iowa, it's up 0.84%, but very bearish, and this diagonal line of resistance is continuing to provide resistance, and today the resistance at 3.69, and the bottom is very wide open. Unicure is down 0.23% today after dropping 8.40%. As I was mentioning, we could have shorted from there and hope for it to bounce back out here and take the profit on the shorts. I don't know if Unicure has got a ETF that shorts it, but for AI we have a lot of shorts, individual shorts available for the Mag 5 as well. So that kind of approach could be taken out here. Vertex is going to be continuing on this bull channel. It's very safe. It's above the 9-day exponential and the 200-day as well. So that said, I want to go and quickly look at our currencies. Let's look at currencies. Where are the currencies? In currencies, I want to look at Bitcoin. As I mentioned yesterday, Bitcoin's fortunes are tied with the stock market. If the stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down. And today, we are going up again, and market is already open for Bitcoin. It's up 1.21%. And I'm thinking that we got a strong resistance from the 9-day exponential and the 200-day. And I think 85,495 is the point at which Bitcoin is going to get a resistance, and it will get support at 80,514. So that's my verdict for Bitcoin, and Ethereum is also going to follow suit. It's got resistance at the 9-day exponential, which is going to be at 2,852, and it would have support at 1932.31, which was earlier a resistance. So I'm going to mark that as a support. That's the range in which we are going to move today. And with that said, I think I'm ready to look at what's happening in the comment section. So hot dog, I think that I'll have to revise my opinion on AMD. I'm not going to short it. I'm going to watch it carefully. I would like to find out a bull flag target and see what it looks like. I'd like to observe AMD further. But if you looked at the last video I had done, where I had used Gemini deep research to do a comparison between Tesla and NVIDIA, in that chart, well, in that research, we had the market share for NVIDIA, which looks pretty formidable. So one way of looking at it would be to say that NVIDIA is the big brother. It's already captured the market for data centers. It has got a big market for graphic processors, and it's only for it to leave that particular market to AMD. But it has not happened yet. AMD is fighting really hard. But the question is AMD going to be able to break through the stronghold that NVIDIA has, especially because of CUDA? So data center area seems to be a bit of off limits for AMD. And then that what remains it for AMD to fight and get the GPU market for the PC segment and dominate that area. Is AMD going to be able to do that? And here I have a contrarian thought. I am thinking that most people who have PCs, and Dell is saying that the PC refresh cycle is starting right now. And if Dell is right and PC refresh starts, anyone who is going to buy a PC is going to look at getting a NVIDIA GPU so that they can have CUDA on it, and they could use that language and start doing some programming in there and start using the GPU as well. And also there'll be a lot of application makers who are going to do AI applications for the desktop, and they would prefer the NVIDIA GPU out there because of CUDA support. And therefore, I'm thinking that AMD is a losing proposition. I want your feedback, guys, Hot Dog as well as Inf. Let me know what you think. And also those of our subscribers who will watch this live stream later on, I would like your feedback. Please let me know whether you think AMD is a real contender, because I think all customers would like to have multiple suppliers so that they can prevent a monopoly. But this CUDA, I think, is a fly in the ointment out there for competitors. I would like to hear from you guys. Okay, so with that said, I think I'm ready to end this live stream today, unless there is any questions or any ticker that you want to have a look at. NVIDIA's real competitor will be Huawei. Yeah, it could be because of the sanctions. I think the Chinese market could probably decide to offer, I think Chinese government could probably take over the mantle of exceptionalism from the United States. And potentially they are already doing a lot of funding into the market. And I think the Chinese market is also looking good. Hey, you will be alive if you are just traveling. Okay. I wish you the very best. And I don't need anything from India, my friend. You come back safely. And I wish you the very best. Travel safe and enjoy your vacation. Take your vaccinations and don't eat any street food until at least a week after you have landed out there. Okay, take care. And yeah, that's about it, Inf. And Hot Dog, yeah, I agree with you. Huawei, we have to watch Huawei closely, and maybe Samsung and others will also potentially participate. I think Samsung is underestimated because in the Nasdaq markets we are looking at conglomerates like MMM, but I think Samsung has also got the potential because they have their finger on many pies, and they could get into quantum chips and other things. So we can't, yeah, we have to keep a open mind, and this is where our viewers from Australia can give us some good perspective, because you're looking at both Asia as well as the US. And whereas out here in Toronto, I'm more or less focused on NASDAQ and TSX, and being of an Indian origin and with holdings in India, I'm also looking at the National Stock Exchange and the BSE, looking at Sensex. And those are the areas where I've got my focus. I think I'll have to start sharpening my view on China, and for that I would look forward to our Australian viewers giving me some pointers. I'm going to start studying a few of those ADRs from China which are in NASDAQ to begin my foray into that area. I'm very happy with JD.com, so thanks to, I think it was Max who asked me to look at JD.com, so thank you very much. I'm making some decent profits out there. I have to decide when to take the profits. So that's about it. Well, friends, thanks a lot. Have a great day. I'll catch up with you again tomorrow, or maybe within a video that I might probably release today as soon as the inspiration strikes. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.